So the first video was about 7 minutes. I'm going to keep trying to make these videos short. That was the biggest feedback that I got over the last couple of years of doing this, is that if the videos get long, they get pretty boring, which, hate to admit, math is boring, but to each their own, I guess. So we're going to do multiplying decimals. We worked on adding and subtracting already. Multiplying is very similar, except that it has one big difference. Well, when we do the process of multiplying, the first thing we want to do is estimate, just like we always have. So this will be 6, this will be 5. Estimating those together will be 30. Okay, and unlike adding and subtracting, where the answers were really, really close every time, these might be a little bit farther off, and that's just fine, as long as you make the judgment on if that estimation is close enough. And that's actually a very good question to ask me, and I'll show you an example here. Now, the big difference with multiplying is we don't have to line up the decimals. In this case, though, they end up lining up rather nicely. Okay, but that is not a necessary thing. What we do is we count the number of decimals. So there's one here and there's one here. So that means our answer will have to have 2 decimal places in it. Okay, we'll add those up. So 2 times 8 is 6. We carry the 1. 48, 49. And now notice we did not drag this decimal down, because we're going to wait till the very end to do it. 8, 24, and now we add, so this becomes 6, 7, 9, 2. Now, we need 2 decimal places, so we're going to start at the right, and we're going to go 1, 2, and that decimal place is going to go right there. Now, this is where it's important. If you make a mistake, your estimation will not be correct. But 30 and 29.76 are very close together, so I feel comfortable that we did this problem correctly. So before we move on, let's talk about what we did. Okay, step 1, do not line up decimals. Step 2, how many decimals in each? So there was 1 decimal place here, there was 1 decimal place here, and we added them up. Added the number of decimals. Okay? And that told us that our answer should have 2. Now, if you got to the end and your problem looks like this, well, you should look at your estimation and say that, well, something's not right here. Probably should be in between those two, that type of thing. Okay? So let's try another one. This one, we write it down just like we did before, 7.91, 8.11, and now let's go back up and estimate. So this is 8 times 8. Our answer should be around 64. Okay, so the number of decimals in each. Well, this says 1, 2 decimals. This says 1, 2 decimals, so our answer should have 4. Now, these will not always be the same, but in the last 2 problems, they have been. So this becomes 1. 9 times 1 is 9. 7 times 1 is 7. Now, we do not bring the decimal down. 1, 9, 7. Now we have 2 x's. That's 8. 72. 56 plus 7 is 63. All right. So this becomes 1, 0. Now, one of my tricks here is we have a 1 up here. I'm going to add it to that 9 to make 10. And then those 2 add to be 15. 10 plus 15 is 25. That's just the way I like to do it. 11. So this a lot over here. Here we go. Okay, so now we have 4 decimal places. So that means we start here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And our answer is 64 0.1501. Well, that's very close to 64, so it looks like we've done it correct. Make sure you use that estimation. It's a big, big help. Okay? Let's try one more here, and then I'll let you try these on your own. Now, one of the tricks with these types of problems is always put the smaller number or the one with less decimal places on the bottom. So I'm going to put the 7.8 on the bottom, and actually you don't even need to write the decimal places in here. Okay, just like that, and just know that it has one decimal place. And then we can go 7, 8, and we know that this also has one decimal place, so our answer will have 2. Our estimation should be 1. Now, you could do this a couple ways, but I'm going to estimate this to 100, and I'm going to estimate this to 8. You could estimate this to 101, but I can't do 101 in my head. But I can do 100 times 8 in my head, which is 800. Okay, the video is going to feel jumpy because I made a mistake, so I'm going to try this one over. All right, so 6 times 8 is 48. 1 times 8 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. 0 times 8 is 0. Plus 1. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, put the x here. 7 times 6 is 42. So that brings a 4 up there as well. That becomes 11. So 0 times 7 is 0, plus 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Okay, so this becomes 8, 4, 2, 9, 7. And now we knew from before, but I erased it, that there's 1 decimal, so we have 2 decimals. So we bring in 1, 2 over, and we get 792.48, which looks really close to 800. And now this is the time when checking it on a calculator is a good idea, or just asking your teacher, because he would love to help with that. 792.48, that looks pretty good. Only took me like 2 tries. Okay, so for these, I would like you to pause and try these on your own. All right, so I'm going to try the bottom 2 of these. The top one becomes 67.71. Now, just for the sake of time, I'm going to skip that one and move to these bottom 2. This one becomes 178 and 59. I'm going to put the 59 on the bottom because it's a smaller number. So 1 decimal, there will be 2 total. 8 times 9 is 72. 63. So it becomes 70 and 16. So that's 40. 35, 39, and 8. So 2, 0, 15, and 2 decimal places, so 105.02. Let's double check. There we go, that one's good. And for the bottom one, now there is no decimal there, so we can leave that as just 86, and this becomes 71, and there should be 1 decimal place. So this becomes 6 and 8, 42, 56, so 60. I'm running out of space, but it should be okay. So, there we go. It looks like 610.6, and to double check, whoops, that's not right. There you go. All right, so it will be up on the website.